how it all started. It was a war between Russia and Japan. The Japanese Empire and Russian Empire fought over Korea and Manchuria. 210,000 people died in the Russo-Japanese War. The war started on 8th of February 1904 and ended on the 5th of September 1905. Conflict between Russia and Japan broke out over territorial expansion in East Asia. They had a surprise attack in Korea, and Japan wanted to fight against Russia and stem their interests in Korea. Establishment of the Japanese Imperial Navy as a major naval power. Remove of the Russian Navy from the European naval arms race, which allowed Germany to compete against Britain without any competition.
Akiyama Tsuneyuki and Ryo Shingeto started the war. The war broke out in Manchuria, Yellow Sea. After the war, Japan gained a position of world power and also became the first non-European and non-American imperialist modern state. Japan tried to attack Tsushima while the war was going on.
Sergei White led Russia to sign a peace conference in Portsmouth under the Treaty of Portsmouth.
The Battle of Tsushima was fought while the war was happening.
The Japanese attacked Vice Admiral Oscar Stark's Russian fleet at Port Arthur at night. During the siege of Port Arthur, Japanese troops first invested the city in July 30, 1904, and forced its surrender on January 2, 1905. Russian Army Major General Anatoly Stossel, 5 million men, 506 guns. Army General Nogi Masatsuki, 90,000 men, 474 guns. The Treaty of Portsmouth ended the war. The Treaty of Portsmouth was signed at Portsmouth Naval Base, New Hampshire, September 5, 1905. Russia sputtered defeat and Japan was in financial difficulties. Both nations indicated a desire for peace. Under the terms of agreement, Russia was compelled to recognize Korea's independence and the paramount political, military, and economic interests of Japan in Korea. Under the terms of agreement, Russia was compelled to recognize Korea's independence and the paramount political, military, and economic interests. The Treaty of Portsmouth marked the temporary decline of Russian power in East Asia and the emergence of Japan in the strongest power in the area. 7 battles were there in the Russo-Japanese War. The battles are the Battle of Chimilpo, Yellow Sea, Usan, Port.
The Russo-Japanese War never popped in Russia, one of the key events in the 20th century. They fought in the very far eastern reaches of the country. Population lived many hundred miles from the war. Japanese soldiers thought toddy in battle was noble and anything less was humiliation. They also referred to themselves as Emperor's human bullets, forced human waves mowed down by Russian machine guns during attacks. Turning point in Russian history, it led to a popular uprising against the government that forced to respond with domestic economic and political reforms. The Russian light cruiser Novik being badly damaged in combat with 2 Japanese cruisers at Kurashkor Bay, August 1904. The Russian protected cruiser Pallada, December 1904. The Russian dreadnought battleship Pobeda, sunk at Port Arthur, December 1904. The Russian light cruiser Ismonrad ran around and wrecked outside the port of Vladivostok. The Russo-Japanese War in 1904 to 1905 was a conflict that grew out of the rival imperialist ambitions of Imperial Russia and Japan in Manchuria.
This war established Japan as a major war power.
The fleet was in home waters. Russia was fighting 6,000 miles from home.
Japan was within 600 miles.
Russia had only 1,800 men in Manchuria. Japan had a force of 280,000 ready for combat. These were well trained, highly disciplined, and able led.
The Russians were inefficient, lacked discipline, and were harmed by unequal officers, old-fashioned tactics.
Japan therefore took the great risk of starting massive. The Treaty of Portsmouth was signed on September 5, 1905 at the Portsmouth Surgeons Witt and Roman Wilson for Russia, Komura Taro and Takahira Kogoro for Japan.
The treaty acknowledged Japan as the dominant power in Korea, and both sides agreed to evacuate Manchuria and return its country to China. Japan won the war.